Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got 3 replays in the German Tier 8 preferential premium medium tank, the Panther 88. Now if you do like the video, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe down below as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the Panther 88. It's a tank that is in the Season Pass at level 75, and you'll be able to get your hands on it. Now a fair few people probably will have this tank already, because I think it was in an earn-up at some point in the past. Not sure when. So if you do already own it, you'll get a nice chunk of silver, which will be useful for you in the future. But what are you getting with the Panther 88? Well, the Panther 88 is a pretty solid little preferential premium medium, right? It's a Panther with the 88mm gun, naturally. It's recently got up to 280 alpha, which is lovely. And then it's got reasonable turret armour, and by reasonable I mean go hull down and you'll be okay-ish with it, but never rely on it. And to be honest, with the armour on the Panther, it is one of those that you never really want to truly rely on the armour whatsoever. You can side scrape every now and then in it, which can be useful. You've just got to be very, very careful about what you're side scraping against. But what this tank is all about is this gun. This gun is absolutely fantastic if you kit it out for it. You've got brilliant DPM, and you can just shred away with it. You've just got to put yourselves in good flanking positions, and then just let this filthy 88mm gun sing, and you'll have a great time. You'll be able to snap shots just like that. But the Panther 88 was buffed about a year ago, and then it got another buff, which was literally just moving up to 280 alpha. So what did they do to the Panther 88? I think it was like the 23rd of May last year or something like that. So to the Panther 88, they buffed the frontal armour of the turret from 120 to 185. The rotation of the turret went from 36 degrees a second to 42 degrees a second. The horsepower of the engine went up from 700 to 870, which gives you an 18.71 horsepower per ton ratio. The aim time of the gun also went from 2.3 seconds to 1.8, which really brought the Panther 88 back from the brink of obscurity. And by that I'm saying because it was such an old school premium. It really was back when they buffed it last year. In that the gun took quite a while to aim, it was really slow. You had good DPM, but trying to use it, especially with having no armour as well, was just a bit of an irritation, really. And I'd say you were slow. You weren't really slow, but you were really sluggish, is the way I should put it, realistically. But yeah, the Panther 88 was just not a good premium. Then they buffed it up to have all those little bits and bobs for the vehicle, and it was like, actually, this is really nice, especially the aim time. The aim time was the godsend for this vehicle, because it meant that you were ready to fire so much quicker, and your time to getting the gun on target was just so much quicker, and that meant that you could use the pretty damn nice 2.9k DPM with the build that I have to your advantage to just slam home the rounds with the Panther 88, which was lovely. And then they buffed the alpha from 240 to 280 when a lot of the other 88mm got that buff as well. And that gave you some sort of alpha as well, just like the Panther 2 has with the 280, which was really, really nice for the Panther 88. And again, it just added an extra dynamic to the tank that it made it just, again, come from the brink of obscurity to being okay. If this tank didn't have preferential premium, you know, preferential matchmaking, and if you don't know what I'm talking about when I'm saying it's got a preferential matchmaking, it means that it will never see tier 10. Unless you're an idiot, and you'll see that, then it probably wouldn't be that good of a tank. But seeing as the fact that tier 9 is the worst you'll get, it's actually pretty okay for that. But on the whole, it's actually, I just don't know, I just find it a pretty enjoyable tank for a preferential vehicle. You just got to put up with the fact that you are as big as a house, and you do struggle with no armour. That's it. And then if you can make this gun sing, you will have a great time. So what do I run with it in terms of crew and equipment? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Trap Mechanic, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Camouflage Expertise, the Advanced Loader, the Gun Stabilizer, and Optics. Optics to be able to spot for myself and get my view range up to 499 meters of view range with the build that I have. The Gun Stabilizer to make this gun not bloom out as much as possible, and the Advanced Loader to make sure I've got the best DPM I possibly can have. The 3 gun perks, again, to make this gun as good as humanly possible, to keep this gun singing, and the Camouflage Net to just knock the camo of the vehicle down if I can, just so I have some sort of camo. Because you are as big as a house and you don't really have any, so it's nice to be able to spec out for that. You could take other things in general, but with a lot of the buffs, yeah, I'm not sure that there's much else that I would really want to take on this vehicle. So as you can see, with this first game, we finished with the victory. We ended up getting destroyed in them because we put ourselves in a bad position. But we did finish with the 2 kills, 4,043 damage. Confederate, the sniper, with the 1,682 base XP. A pretty damn nice game for the Panther 88 in the worst matchmaking it should ever see. Because that was a very tier 9 game. And we took up a position at the start of the game which wasn't really working out for us. We decided to go flank on Azure Coast, and it just worked out perfectly. And that was a beach team. Most of their team went on the beach, and we just flanked round, managed to get the easy shots into the sides and rears, and we farmed away. And that was the type of thing that I was talking about with the Panther 88, that when you get this gun singing, oh boy, it sings, and it is definitely very, very nice in that regard. But then you saw the other downside, that I overextended, and that meant that they all went, oh, I can shoot this Panther, and they just absolutely butchered the poor tank, and we got shredded and died, which, yeah, it happens. What can I say? You know, the Panther 88, if you get caught out, you're going to die, just like most other tanks. And if you're an idiot and drive into the open in front of 3 tanks that could kill you, like a King Dragon, a Waffle Panzer IV, and a hard case, yeah, well, oh dear. But we're on to the second replay. And the second replay is here on Pearl River. And on Pearl River, we have pushed to the 1-2, because I like the 1-2 flank. I really do. I like fighting on it, because you can go hull down, you can push quite aggressively down it if you want to, and it gives you different avenues of playing the map from once you've won this flank, because you can push towards their base, you can push back to your base, you can go and try and take the middle from after winning it, and it just provides some really, really good shots in general. So we start this game, and we are up to 36 assistants, because we found absolutely nothing. There has been nothing, and the shots that we've taken so far have missed, which is sad. But we do get a shot on the move into the Tiger 1. Just hoping to use our DPM there to get another one in, but it doesn't quite happen. A Tiger 217 comes along, and it's like, hello, Mr. Tiger. Just like your Tiger 1 brethren, or your Tier 7 brethren in for the Tiger 1. You're very easy to pen, and I enjoy that. So we shut down the Tiger 217. And the Tiger 1 actually ends up getting finished off by the Hydra. Up to 602 damage with 1,303 assistance. And with that Tiger dead, I'm thinking, ooh, artillery anyone? Bacon anyone? Does anyone like some crispy fried bacon? I do. Let's get the piggies. And we've loaded the HE ready for the piggies. We actually have a shot at that Tiger P. I kind of wish I had AP loaded at this point, but no, my mission is always the artillery. So as you can see, we are going in, get the ram in. They both shotgun us, and the FB304 ends up ramming himself to death on us, and the Vengeance decided to choose pain by also ramming the M12 with us. He saw us and went, I like this guy, I know what he's doing, I want some of that action too. He just wanted his crispy fried bacon, you know? And it was kind of stupid, right? Because we lost half our hit points very, very quickly, and now we are down to half health, and we could have done that so much cleaner, but ram, right? Ram. Who doesn't want to ram? And we just had to do it. But right now, we're farming away, and that is because we're unspotted. We're using the bush cover to stay unspotted while we're farming the shots down range. Sad times that we didn't actually kill that TNH. I'm sad that we didn't kill that TNH 105-1000 there. Only tracked the vehicle, which was, yeah, sad times. But there's 4 tanks left on the enemy team. We're up to 2.5k damage with 1,561 assistance. 3 kills as well. We see the T4E2 in the middle, who is, well, he could kill us in one clip, so it's a dangerous tank, but we do want to get rid of it if we can. So instead of driving up and being in front of his gun and joining the heavy tank where he is at D7, we're going to go up the outside of these little ridges. And as you can see, this is how you get into the middle from this position, get up behind the T54E2 who is distracted, and start farming away. So we put a shot into the back end of the T54E2, which tracked him in place, going for a little bit of a ram, because why not? 128 damage, because naturally, a Panther 88 is quite quick, going at 52 kilometers an hour, and being able to go at 52 kilometers an hour means we can ram for quite a lot of speed, especially since this is quite a heavy tank. But yeah, we've managed to get that 3.2k damage with 1,561 assistance. Looking for shots into the lower plate, the Chrysler K, which we're not going to pen with our 203 standard pen on the AP. We've got 237 penetration on the APCR, though, which should just about go through that Chrysler K's lower plate, and it is working out for us. This tank obviously has that 499 meters of view range with the build that we have, which is nice. So we could always keep these guys spotted, and you can go spotting in the Panther 88 quite nicely. But the camo with the build that we have is down to 362 meters of still concealment, which is why we were still spotted when farming that Chrysler Cave, even from a bit of a distance through concealment. But that's why I want to buff it up a little bit, because a little bit helps. And when you were shooting through the foliage at stuff like the TNH 155-1000 and the Tiger P, they couldn't see us. We finished that game with the Ace Tanker, the Top Gun, the High Caliber, with the 4064 damage for the 2068 basic P. A really nice game for the Panther 88 there. And yes, this is what I was talking about earlier on when I said, unless you're an idiot. Now, if you're me, I'm not really bothered about being bottom tier half the time. And being a preferential premium medium, if you're going to pick a preferential premium medium in a platoon, always make sure that the other people in the platoon are picking other preferential tanks, so that tier 9 will be the max that you will see. Because if you pick the pref tank in a platoon with 2 other people that are in tanks that don't have preferential matchmaking, this will happen. And this is a tier 10 game for the Panther 88, which it should never see. Unless you're a fool like me. And, you know, we're fearless. We don't care. It's like, okay, you know what? Bottom tier, sure. Panther 88 doesn't like this, but we're going to see what we can do anyway. We're going to use the fantastic gun handling that this tank has to our effect and just stick the 2.9k DPM that we've got in this tank downrange as much as possible. Because with this build that we've got now, we've got a 1.66 second aim time, which means the gun aims in very, very quickly. We've got 0.71 accuracy during rotation and 1.42 accuracy during movement. That's why I run the gun stabilizer, to get those numbers down to that level. Because that means that the gun, as you can see, basically never blooms out. And with the 1.66 aim time, we are always ready to go in shooting this weapon. Because that means that we don't have to stick around too often while shooting, and it lessens our chances of taking hits, because this vehicle cannot take hits because it's got no armour. So we don't want to be putting ourselves in that position where we have to sit there and aiming. And that's why the Panther 88 used to be a bit of a pain, because with the 2.3 second aim time it used to have, that definitely was a problem for the Panther 88. In the fact that, you know, when you wanted to get a shot at people, you had to sit there and wait for the 2.3 second aim time to properly get aimed in, and then you could fire, which means you were sticking around for a little bit too long, and people could end up, well, getting shots into you, whittling your hit points down, and, well, you die, which is sad. We do have 8 degrees of gun depression, by the way, on the Panther 88, which is really handy for ridgelines, and you can use the ridgeline like we did on the steps on Azure Coast at the start. You can use it to pretty nice effect, make the effective thickness of the turret armour that's now at 185 a little bit better, and that helps you with possible ricochets off of it. But like I say, never truly rely on the armour in the Panther 88, because it's only going to ever end badly. And with shooting at distances like this, and we're shooting down at 400 to 500 metres down this middle road of Ruinberg, we've got 1,000 metres a second shell velocity on the standard AP rounds, which is pretty average, and that means that, you know, you've got to give a decent amount of lead if you're firing at distance. But if you fire the APCR, you do have 1,250 metres a second shell velocity on the APCR, which means it is a proper Speedy Gonzales round. It means you don't have to give quite as much lead as the standard round. Now, you're seeing in this replay, right, we are bottom tier against tier 10s. We are going to have to fire a lot of premium, because we only have, this is why it's preferential, right? We only have 203 penetration on the standard AP rounds, which, against a lot of their tier 10s, is not going to work, quite frankly. It just doesn't work. We're not going to pen quite a few of their tier 10s that we've seen so far, like the 277, like the Sturm Tiger, like other tanks like that, which is why we've kept having to press A to load the APCR, because it's like, oh, that's an IS-7, I need to pen the IS-7, I can't pen that with AP, so we're going to have to load premium, and then they don't give us a shot anymore, and then we have to shoot them at a bat chat or at the Manticore like you saw. But that really does help anyway, because the shell velocity being at 1250 really does help to hit those types of tanks and shut those guys down. So the 277 just fires at the Panther 2. So we just poke out, try and get a shot into the 277 here through the gap. We couldn't quite find it. Again, trying to find the drive wheel and maybe pen the side here of the 277. But once again, it just doesn't go through, because 237 penetration is still not quite that good against tier 10s. But again, you're not going to face tier 10s unless you're a moron. But I mean, it's still handy to see, because even tier 9s can be a bit of a problem for the penetration we've got, right? But we are just trying to put as many shots in as possible. Now, I know the 277 have fired. I know I've got the DPM, and, well, unfortunately, I don't reload quick enough. I thought You know, I've seen that guy fire, right? I'm going to get the reloading in time to get a second shot in before he fires, but that wasn't correct, and yeah, we failed. I could have killed the Draugen there, but the situational awareness wasn't there, to be honest. I was more focused on not dying to the artillery. I really could have killed the Draugen there, but again, I was too focused on just getting between the houses and making sure that the guy couldn't shoot us. But we actually have shots down range now, shooting towards the Sturm Tiger. We've got the lower plate of a Sturm Tiger, we fire at it, and we ricochet. Because again, 203 penetration is not quite enough for the strength and lower plate of a Sturm Tiger. We aim for the gun, because sometimes you can just pen straight through the gun of the Sturm Tiger, but we don't hit it. So our best bet, again, is to load the premium rounds, and that way we will be able to penetrate this guy. And I'm watching this guy going, is he going to blind fire? He just stops and starts looking, and I poo myself, because I think, oh my goodness me, I thought he was looking at me. You know, that was a life flashes before your eyes moment, because he just sort of stopped and it was like, oh my goodness, that guy's gonna fire. And then I saw him fire and thought, oh, I'm dead. Oh no, he fired at the other guy. Cool, because I couldn't quite tell where he was looking. That was a brown trousers moment, but it is what it is. We get a nice shot into the drive wheel of the IS-7, which puts us on to 4.1k damage, which we're on 4.1k damage in a tier 10 game, which is a really nice game for this Panther 88. Couldn't quite find a shot at the Sturm Tiger, but there is only 2 tanks left on the enemy team. It is this Sturm Tiger and the heavy tank down at B3, who has been pressured by one of our own heavy tanks and an artillery. So we're just going to use the newly buffed. It's not really newly buffed, is it? But it's been a year. But the buffed mobility of the Panther 88, because you do have the 52 kilometer an hour top speed on this Panther 88, which is pretty nice. And having that 18.71 horsepower per ton ratio means that you do hit 52 kilometers an hour, well, 51 to 52 kilometers an hour pretty easily. And it's also a thing that you could decide to drop the gun stabilizer if you feel like the gun is good enough. You could drop the gun stabilizer and run something like the traction system, and you'll get up to 57 kilometers an hour, and you will hit that. And yeah, you'll be able to have a really, really nice mobility on the vehicle. It's down to you and how you want to feel comfortable with the tank. I just like making the gun more snapshotty and always ready to go, and that way I'm just ready to kill things when I need to, and lessen the chances of me getting hit. But you do have 20 kilometers an hour reverse speed on this vehicle as well, by the way, which is damn nice. It means you can pull back around corners really quickly. That is actually really fast reverse speed. But as you've just seen, we managed to get behind the Sturm Tiger, flank round, use the gun mobility to good effect, get behind him, and then finish him off. Get our 4th kill of the game, and we just hesitated a second shooting at the back end of that Rogel Dawn, and that meant the 60 TP managed to shut him down. But we did finish the game with 4 kills, 4.4k damage, with the Nichols medal, the Ace Tanker Nichols medal for killing 4 tanks 2 tiers higher, which is quite a rare medal to get, and is always nice to get as well. The 2,159 base XP, a really damn nice game for the Panther 88 there, in a matchmaking that you should never see unless you're a moron like myself. But yeah, that's the Panther 88. That's the tank that you're going to be getting at level 75 in the Season Pass. It's a pretty damn nice tank. Like I say, just get this tank flanked round into positions where you can use the gun. Do not rely on the armor, and you'll have a really good time with it. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success.